Hello everybody, and my name is NoctisBot. Yes, I've changed my name. I'm going through a little bit of a process of reinvention lately, so this is just another side of it. I've used the username BobMitch for a long time now, and I kind of thought it was the time where I left it behind and tried to be a little bit different and do something new, which is why this is taking place on the side of me that plays Star Citizen as well. So I'm sorry if it was kind of jarring if you looked at the channel one day and suddenly the name had changed, but yes, there we go. Anyway, welcome back to some more Star Citizen. So we've had quite a few updates this week. Over the past few days we've had Reverse the Verse today with Mr. Chris Roberts himself. We have had Around the Verse. A really cool thing was the monthly studio update, which was released the other night, and we had lots and lots of juicy information in there. Not least of which is we had some cool interior shots from the 890 Jump. So the 890 Jump is obviously Origin's big luxury yacht slash cruiser slash multi-role thing, and it's basically the 600i on steroids. So it's got what looks like, I'm not sure if that's a garden or if it's designed to be a huge fish tank, and I love my fish tanks. So yeah, it looks very, very cool. It looks a bit more fleshed out, I'd say, than the 600i. The 600i is brilliant, don't get me wrong, but lots of its areas look very clinical. So they look a bit, you know, too white and a bit too clean. So I love my luxury, but you expect a kind of certain side of realism with it. We also had the notification both on Spectrum and from Chris Roberts on Reverse the Verse earlier on that they are most definitely looking to push rentable ships, so not ships to buy but ships to rent, kind of like you do with the weapons, in 3.3. so that is a massive welcoming thing for a lot of people. It means you'll be able to play the game and you have a decent gameplay loop now. I've talked a lot about gameplay loops over the past few videos, where you'll be able to earn credits so you can actually buy different ships that you don't physically own in your hangar. So that's a massive thing that we've been looking forward to for a very long time. What else have we got? We also had the letter from Chris Roberts, so we had a letter from the chairman, and he goes over a few things in that. He has gone over that Alpha 3.3, so the next big update, won't be coming out exactly at the end of September, as you know the quarterly releases have been doing. They typically come out at the end of the month. It turns out that they planned CitizenCon, and with the scheduling that they've done, the Alpha 3.3 would have released at the end of September, and then 10 days after that they would do CitizenCon. Naturally, that's a hell of a schedule clash, so as opposed to making all of their developers sweat bullets for making content for both Alpha 3.3 and for CitizenCon, they're planning to release them both together. So essentially the Alpha 3.3 release will be on the October 10th when CitizenCon takes place. That's their goal anyway. Hopefully they don't get it set back. Chris Roberts said in Reverse the Verse earlier on today that even though we won't have a full alpha release of 3.3 at the end of September, by then it should be at its full peak within the PTU. So basically we'll have a full PTU release, and it will be open to everybody, from subscribers to concierge to average Joe who has just a basic Aurora. So yeah. They have also said that they're enjoying the video content that lots of people have been producing. So if you've been watching any of their content like Around the Verse lately in the past few episodes, they've highlighted some pieces of community made content. So basically the shenanigans that everybody gets up to and makes YouTube videos of and submits to the community hub, they've been highlighting some of that. There was a cool one the other day where I think it was a Spanish bunch of people had infiltrated a 50-man server, and they did a massive group jump together. They got the quantum linking working magnificently so that all 50 of them managed to jump in one jump, and then they had a huge fight on the surface of the planet, as most gamers are wont to do. They had a huge FPS battle. He also discusses in the letter about the content within ATV, how they're trying to strike a balance between, they don't want to make it too long and they're trying to keep it purposeful. So there's been a lot of ups and downs lately about how they're doing the content and how they're addressing it. You know, they don't want to draw it out or make it so that it's over within 2 minutes, kind of like the Noobifier's video. The Noobifier, bless him, has become a bit of a target for CIG because his calling all devs in under 2 minutes kind of things sort of trashed what CIG were trying to do with it. Not intentionally, he was well intentioned, you know, he's just summarising it for people, but everyone was... It's a bit of a hit and miss because some people want the longer videos, some people want the shorter videos. You can't win, unfortunately. As Chris puts in his letter, it's a difficult tightrope to walk, so yeah. Another thing that came up also this week was that before the during the week there was a cap on how much UEC you could buy. So obviously UEC is the in-game currency, and kind of like buying ISK, the Interstellar Credits with EVE, by purchasing the pilot's license extensions, Plexes. Star Citizen means to fund itself once the playable universe is released by having players buy the currency. So you will be able to buy the currency itself. You can buy the currency now, it just becomes alpha UEC because obviously we're still in the alpha of the game. And earlier this week CIG removed the cap on how much UEC you can buy. As is with a lot of stuff that happens in Star Citizen, the wider internet media and other attentive services grabbed it and said, oh, Star Citizen proof of becoming more pay to win because now you can purchase as much money as you want, when quite a lot of other games have already done this. I've already mentioned EVE. You can do the same sort of similar thing in World of Warcraft now by buying Battle.net tokens. Now in Star Citizen you can just purchase the currency directly, and I don't know if it's because of that method, but there we go. And basically he is just clarifying that there's still a limit of how much you can purchase a day, but there isn't a cap on why you can purchase as much in-game currency as you want. It's my own approach on it is, whenever someone says Star Citizen is pay to win, I always turn around and say, what are you expecting to win? There isn't anything to win in Star Citizen. There isn't, you know, at the minute you can't buy a gigantic rifle in Star Citizen directly from a shop online that will give you a huge advantage. You know, there's not, it won't give you better accuracy or more bullets, or, you know, it's, I just don't understand it. There's nothing to win yet, and there won't be anything to win later on in the game. They've said, Chris has said in his letter, that there's going to be lots of things that can only be earned by playing. So be that through several methods, such as earning reputation with certain NPCs, and basically what you do in games now. You know, they want to make it so that it's not something where you can just spend thousands of dollars, pounds, euros, credits, rupees, whatever, on money, in-game money, and then go and splurge and buy yourself the most powerful ship in-game, the best armor in-game, the best weapons in-game, because it's not going to work like that. I imagine, as it is now, you know, there'll be a standard subset of what you can buy, and then you can improve upon it, and it isn't just going to be money that's key in earning those items, or ships, or modules, components, armor pieces, whatever. So yeah, it's, as Chris puts at the end of his letter, it's a foreign concept to gamers, as the majority of games are about winning and losing, but Star Citizen isn't going to be a normal game. You know, it's a simulation that's going to be very in-depth and strong. So let me know what you think on it anyway. I know there's going to be a lot of varied opinion about it, because I know that a lot of people do think Star Citizen's a bit pay to win. Obviously there's a lot of people out there that still think it's a waste of time and money. That's fair enough, that's your own opinion. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'll round off by putting a link to a cool thing. I was talking about the object container streaming and the network bind culling in my last video, and I missed a post on Reddit, actually, a really cool post by Reddit user Captain Squishy. He made a lovely little summary that goes quite in depth and has an exploration about how network bind culling and the object container streaming, they work together and how they will improve the performance. And so I kind of give you a summary. I said it was object container streaming, but that was more the bind culling, which CIG have now finished. They've actually finished the bind culling, and now they are working on the object container streaming. So yeah, I'll link that post in the description and you can go and have a look at that there. So yeah, thank you for sticking with me, guys. YouTube's got a new cool feature about subscriptions, kind of like Twitch. I'm not sure on it yet. I don't think I'm going to activate it anytime soon. I'm not really doing this as a money grab, so we'll see how things go down the line, but I enjoy just doing this for fun. But thank you for sticking with me. I hope this was a bit more informative for some of you. Please go and look at the link in Reddit about the 3.3 network bind culling and object container streaming. It's very informative, and it does give you a bit more info than what I explained and how it works, and how it will most definitely give people a lot better performance when 3.3 comes out. And I will see you next time. Have a good weekend.